Well, hello. What's going on, everybody? It's been a while. Um, um, Sorry about that. No intro. I mean, don't wanna, didn't want to play the intro. Um, I think the people who follow us throughout the years and new listeners deserve an explanation, which I'm gonna give you an explanation. I'm gonna be as honest as possible. Um, okay, let's start first. I'm not gonna be. We're not gonna be here long because it's not a show. But I think everybody deserves an explanation and where we go from here. So, 2025 was a rough year for me, emotionally, mentally, and if everything finally came to a head after 48 years of my life, everything finally came to a head, and where I have to step away for a while to get me back. I'm not crazy or nothing, but I just some all things have to be fixed in my life. Um, and during the show, I mean, this was a rough year. I mean, I guess this is going to go hand in hand. Um, it was a rough year on the show. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit anybody. It was, and I take full responsibility. I ran the show. I mean, certain things, certain topics crept their way in the show, and it changed things, changed attitudes, and I could see that happening. We pretty much lost our way. Exactly what I told Maximus. We lost our way, and before we got any worse, I'd rather just bring it to an end. And it wasn't again nothing against the other guys. I mean, I should have. I played into some of it. I take full responsibility for that. It should have never happened. I should have called it out and put an end to it, but I didn't. I participated in it, and I take the responsibility for that. You know. Um, I mean, I see the other guys started their own show. I'm happy for them. I support them. I subscribe to them. I've watched. I tuned in for each show. So it's no ill will with them. It's nothing to do with them. It just I'm looking at it like this. Bayou Geeks is I don't think it's ever going to be a certain thing or certain people. It's just going to be its own thing. It had its time with those hosts, and it was over. Just like with Red Beer, we came, we went, and it was over. I mean, now I'm going to say here, will I bring it back in near future? I don't know. And I was thinking about it, and if I did, I thought about it. If I did bring it back, it wouldn't be the same. It'd be something totally different than what it was. It'll never be the same as it was with Red Beard. It'll never be the same as it was with the other guys. They were their own thing, and I'm not gonna do anything to mess their legacy up on this show. It's not fair to them. But like I said, I haven't even thought about doing it. The channel's always going to remain. I'm keeping the channel because I've actually had the channel for 14 years, and I'm not giving up the channel. It may change the name. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'll always be the Bayou Geek, but I don't know if the shows will ever be the same formats again. Who knows? But yeah, but to get back, it wasn't what no one did. Now maybe the way I went about it, yeah, I'll take the responsibility on that one too. But no matter how I did it, I would they I would gotten heat for it regardless. So it didn't really matter how I did it. It just maybe one way was better than the other, possibly. But did I take the road with least resistance? Yes, I did. And I take full responsibility for that. But it wasn't nothing towards them personally. It was just a decision I made. And I just don't know what else to say. It was. I just didn't want us to go sour. And like with everything else going on, I didn't want it to go south, and it would just become, you would just be tuning in to watch us getting into it and shit, stupid shit. I didn't want it to become that. It was becoming the opposite of what it was meant to be. And instead of just letting it go on for entertainment value, I stopped it before it got that far. And me about to go through some things I got to go through next year, I didn't want that on my chest, going through all that, because that would have just added more to the fire, which I really don't need right now. And I sat here and talked about it with Shot of Brandy, and she thought for now it was the best thing. I mean, she didn't know how I was going to do it, just end the show with no, no heads up to them. She didn't know that. That was all on me. And like I said, I take full responsibility for that. It's funny. I was actually, going to play a sick joke on the other ones. Me and Redbeard were talking. I told him what was going on because he asked. And I was like, well, let's record one of your shows on your show and post it up on our page. And fucking, they're going to go fucking crazy. And we wouldn't have done that. We were just fucking kidding around, trying to make the situation, lighthearted as possible. Because it was rough on me. I like doing it. If I told you, seeing them in their show didn't, hasn't bothered me, it does. But, it is what it is. We move on. I had plans for next year with the show, and I gotta put, if I ever decide to do them, I gotta put them on hold for a while, because it's not going to be anytime soon. If I did, that's guaranteed. Closest I would even think of would be that not till at least 6 months down the road. Like I said, I got things I got to get done before I can even think about another show. Next year is a big year for me, many ways, in many, many ways. I'm surprised people came in to even listen to me ramble about this. And I appreciate it. It's all I could do is give y'all an explanation why I did what I did. I'm not asking for anyone's forgiveness. I just felt like you deserved an explanation, and there it is. I mean, that's all I can do. I hope you support the other guys, what they do with their show, the Minorities Report. Go figure. Thank you, Rick. You're a supporter of the show. And I see Dirk, probably one of the most loyal co-hosts I've ever had, for sure. Dirk went through it all with me with Redbeard in this situation. If I do it again, Dirk's bringing you back. You that one guy. You like Fred from Howard Stern. I won't forget about you, Fred. But yeah, like I said, I didn't anticipate being in here long. I just want to give everybody a heads up what was going on. And no, I mean, even for the little few things or the few listens we actually had. What you mean I ain't shit? Giving my fucking Lou Gehrig fucking speech, and this motherfucker coming in and ruin it. Today, I am the happiest podcaster alive, or the luckiest podcaster alive. But I appreciate it from the former co-host. I see y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for what y'all did. Like, I don't know if y'all caught the beginning. I didn't play our intro, different show, different time, So, like I said, we'll work together some other day. Either if it's on y'all's mind or on someone else's. We'll meet again. For everybody who followed us and listened, thank you once again. Hell yeah, helped me create something I never thought I could do. I created a brand in a sense, and we're gonna stick around. Like I said, I may even do some pop-up shows here or there, just for the fuck of it. May have one of them come on, and and that's what I was thinking. If I did, I'll be honest. If I did do something again, it's not. I'm going to be real. I probably will never have co-host again. I mean, except Dirk, but I'll probably never have main co-host again, and just because I don't want to go through the situation again. It'll just be me bringing people on and we just yapping or something. That'll be the closest it ever gets. If they ever co-host on the show, it'll be like a reunion Bayou Geek show or something, maybe in a year or something. That'll be when we have co-hosts and shit again. But there'll never be more co-hosts. Unless if Shot of Brandy she wouldn't do it, but I'm saying one time, come here on here, there, that's different. But like actual co-hosts, I don't think I'll ever have co-hosts again. So, unless Shannon Sharp gives me a call, and I'll be like, well, fuck them. Pay me the money. He wants his lanyard. I'm going to get more. They're cheap, man. Like I said, the channel ain't going nowhere. Everything will always be under the Bayou Geeks channel, no matter what shows I do. Or, like I said, I'm not even worried about that right now. But, like I said, we had our moment in time on YouTube. It'll always be there. Check us out. We'll have some reunion. Go back and even on Spotify, listen to real old episodes with me and Redbeard. You never know. Maybe me and Redbeard will pop up and do an episode or something together. Maybe try to bring back Redbeard for one, and then bring Maximus on one, and whatever. Who knows? Like I said, but we're not there. But everybody who checked us out and supported us throughout the years, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Want to give a special shout out to especially the late great Kevin Castle. That this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for his inspiration and words. He's the one that pushed me over the finish line, that really pushed me to do it. And everybody else who support us, Spitball. Oh God, the Jeff Liftman, Joe Punches, Rich Dow, all the podcasts that support us. Thank you. And we'll possibly see you again. And I keep in touch with everybody for sure. I still got to chat with the guys. So it's not like I'm going anywhere. But once again, thank you guys. And le ronton roulette.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.